Floodwaters rising to dangerous levels.
Come over here, sir. You gotta come to me.
Tonight, urgent rescues near Tampa.
Got it.
Sheriff's deputies carrying this 91-year-old woman to safety after her home was surrounded by water.
This looks like a boat ramp. This is an entrance into a neighborhood. There's cars underwater. Some homes are completely underwater. All you see is the apex of the house.
Among those rescued, 135 disabled elderly residents who'd evacuated to this area, while on the opposite coast in Port Orange.
It looked like we were in the middle of a lake. Like there was water in every direction, as far as you could see.
Officials say hundreds of people have been rescued since Hurricane Milton roared ashore Wednesday night. The death toll from the storm has now risen to at least 17. More than 2 million homes and businesses remain without power. Even gas is still hard to find, with long lines at stations that have it. And some of the hardest hit communities are inaccessible. This little stretch of land, there's a bay right here. On the other side, you can see Manasota Key. There is incredibly extensive damage there. Residents just want to get over and see what shape their property is in. It's the one thing they can't do right now. With feet of sand and debris and crews trying to restore electricity, Charlotte County officials tell us it's not safe for anyone to be there right now.
It's numbing. It's been numb for the last 2 weeks.
Peter Hageman and Rod Nybert both live on the Key with their families and rent properties to vacationers.
This is everything I have in the world. So to lose all that, I lose my retirement, I lose my business, I lose my income, I lose my house. So
your entire life savings is wrapped up in those homes.
Yes.
Shalom. Peace, Israel. He's your brother YAHAWAH from the camp, Prophets in Babylon camp down here in Tampa, Florida. Let it give our glory, honor, and praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do indeed teach and will well. And peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. All right, today we're going to get into, as you see that video, man, the Hurricane Milton just passed. But the Spirit of the Lord was in that storm, man. All right, the Spirit of YAHAWASHI was in that storm. You know, and to open it up, personal testimony really quick. In my house, you know, on the second floor, and really I've asked a few people, you know, how did the wind sound? You know, from my experiences of being out here in Florida, man, I've never heard wind that strong, man. You know, the spirit in that storm that the Lord sent, man, it was a spirit of to not play with the Lord, man. Don't mess around, okay? Because the Lord had, as you see, people, houses blew away, houses got flooded, families got basically torn apart, man. About 17 people lost their life. There are those 17 souls that the Lord had set in stone to be, had their souls claimed, you know, during the storm. You know, so I'm going to jump into 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. I'm going to start at verse 17 and read on down from there, because 2nd Esdras 16 and 17 says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? You know, so Esdras seen the times that we're coming into. He's seen the things that were going on, and, you know, even though he trusted in the Lord, you know, it's like, damn, no, woe is me? Who's going to deliver me in those days? You know what I'm saying? And even with the Lord dealing with men, you know, the Lord showed certain men that the vision of the future, and they was like, yo, like, hold on. This is going to be crazy, because there's also one, like, nothing the brothers have ever seen before. In the past times, you know, brothers don't know what, you know, they didn't know what nuclear missiles was or ICBMs, you know. They didn't understand what about fighter jets and all these different things that we have now, man. Okay, so it was a scary sight to see. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. All right, so this is the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And you see people have been mourning out. You know, and you have this storm. It comes through Florida, but I believe it goes through Georgia, then South Carolina, and probably ends off around North Carolina area, man, when it hits that coast. You know, so the Lord, he's claiming bodies, man. The Lord is claiming bodies, and things are stirring up. Now, they said this was I believe the strongest storm that Florida has seen in 100 years, man. That right there should let you know something. In the times that we're in now, this is the strongest storm in 100 years. Hey, man, nothing is a coincidence when dealing with YAHAWASHI. It says, the beginning of famine and great death. Also, I want to touch on that, too. Famine, I was in the store today, and also other stores, you know, before the hurricane and even after, all right, there was no type of poultry, man. There was no meats. You know, majority of the breads and waters and stuff were gone. Okay, so a lot of people, you know, they're in the mindset of making haste. They panicking, man, in those times. They go into the store and they're excessively buying, okay? So that's gonna lead to, you know, you also had the same thing with the gas shortages, the gas outages. People were putting hands on one another, man. People were hitting people with cars, fighting over gas, man. So that right there just goes straight. The times are coming into, man. People are gonna be starting to rob, steal, and kill over the lack of bread, man. For the lack of bread, people are gonna start doing what they have the power to do. It says, the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. When the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So what shall we do when the evils shall come? All right, because it's the beginning of wars. All right, these governments are gonna stand in fear, man. These elites too. The beginning of evils. Evil goes into bad times. So this is the beginning of bad times, man. So a lot of bad times are ahead of us, brothers. You know, that's why the scripture said we gotta be as pilgrims upon the earth. Because a pilgrim, now you're constantly on the move. You're not gonna be worried about going to the store and doing certain things, man. All right. It goes in to say, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So these things are sent as scourges for amendment. And look at this. Yeah. Scourge are sent as scourges for amendment. Scourge goes into afflict, cause great suffering to, plague, torment, burden, oppress, curse. All right, devastate, punish. Okay, the Lord is punishing people, man, and these things are actually righteous, because the Lord isn't gonna hurt His men and His elect throughout all these evils and turmoils and stuff that's coming, man. Okay, He's hurting these 2/3 and these heathens. They're the ones who's feeling it, man. Okay, they're feeling it really hard. And I did a video, and it was a video of a woman and her daughter. They were in the store, I believe it was Walmart, and they walked in, and the daughter said, "This looks like the apocalypse." You know, apocalypse goes in the end of time, end of days, man. You know, so a little child that's, you know, closer in the spirit to the Lord, you know, than someone who's 80 and 90 can understand that, man. And it's not that hard, you know, for you able Jakes to understand and get it, man. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of the scourges. So these people, through all the devastation, all right, the sufferings, the affliction, the plagues, man, these people are not going to turn from their wickedness. They're not going to be always mindful of the scourges. So these people are not going to pay attention. They go, oh, one storm, you know, that's nothing, man. Let's go back to our day-to-day lives. You know, let's go keep sinning, you know, doing iniquity upon iniquity, man. All right. You know, so these people are not even, they're not going to consider specifically really the Lord's people. All right. They're going to continue to live their lives thinking, well, this is, you know, we're on earth. This is life. You know, hurricanes and little stuff like that are going to happen. But you got to understand, man, the Spirit of the Lord is in these storms. And we understand, too, that Esau has the weather technology devices, man. He can alter and manipulate the weather, but ultimately it's YAHAWASHI and YAHAWASHI sending these storms, man, because the Lord gave Esau that technology that he has. It says, behold, victory shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, and those victories, they go into, you know, provisions, you know, food. So things are going to be back to normal, so-called, quote-unquote. People are going to be thinking, oh, I'm good, man. I can just go to the fast food place. I can go to this grocery store and restaurant. I'm going to be A-okay. You know, but within that, they're going to think themselves to be in a good case. They're going to think, oh, everything is all good and gravy. And then it says what? And even then, so even while you're thinking everything is all good, it says, shall evils grow upon the earth? Sword, famine, and great confusion. So great confusion is growing upon this earth. A sword is being sharpened, man. Famine is on the way. And famine is happening within the midst of after the storm, even before the storm and after, man. Okay, so it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So there's going to be a famine of actual food out here. And like we said, you see that in the stores. There's shortages, man. All right, you got port strikes they were talking about, man. Trucks had to bring in gas from ports and stuff, man. So, you know, when those trucks are not running, you're not receiving the things you need. And we seen a preview of Jacob's trouble. If the truck isn't coming in at the gas station, what people doing? They fighting, they running each other over. And you ain't see no Edomites or no heathens doing that, man. It's Jake. Jake gonna get routed up. And that's what's gonna cause a lot of you so-called Negroes to be put to death too as well, man. Okay, because y'all gonna be the ones acting the fool. Trump said it before, I believe. He said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. So around that time, you know, when martial law is implemented and things are getting to that point, man, hey, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, man. So expect to lose your life in those times. It says, and if you escape that famine, you know, and you escape that hunger, it says the sword destroy. The sword, the modern day gun, really anything of this technology that Esau has, that's going to destroy you, man. You gotta remember, these guys got Terminator dogs and all these different types of things, man. So Esau has damn near unlimited arsenal, but it's limited to what the Lord YAHAWASHI allowed him to have, man. It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, and the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. And times to come into, these cities going to be overrun and cast down. People are going to be passing away, but their bodies are not going to be able to be buried, man. They're going to have bodies all over the street, riddled up with bullets, and you're going to see people dying of starvation. They're going to be very malnourished, man. Okay? It says, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Nobody's going to be keeping up the earth, no more cutting the grass, keeping it looking pretty. So the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men. And the place is going to be desolate of men, meaning men are going to be nowhere to be found. Basically abandoned, empty, man. Cities, all places going to be desolate of men, man. It's going to be limited to no men. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. That's how bad the times you're coming into are going to be. You're going to desire to hear another man's voice. Like, damn, is anybody highly, you see it on shows like The Walking Dead and any apocalypse show. Somebody got a walkie-talkie that says, anyone out there? Praying to get a response, man. And usually when you hear someone else's voice, you're thinking, safety, good, someone else is out there, but that person could be trying to, take your life, man. So this is why it's important to trust in YAHAWASHI. It says, for a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. So the earth is going to be overgrown. It's going to look like a wasteland out here, man. A wasteland of wildlife. Trees are going to be overgrown. Houses. If you ever see, I believe it's Left 4 Dead or The Last of Us, one of those games, you'll see vines and trees covering houses and cities and skyscrapers and stuff, man. So it's going to get that bad out here, man. It says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. And their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Because in this time, too, you're going to have the war going on. A lot of men going to be put to death. The only men that's really going to be out here is the men of the Lord. And they're not going to be very easily to come across. The Lord likened his men unto the golden wedge of Ophir. And that's a very rare, precious metal. And you got to understand, if that's precious to the Lord, what's the word I'm looking for? How scarce is an elect man or a man of the Lord is going to be in that time, man. And it's going to be very scarce, very rare. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Yeah, so in the wars, a lot of these young men are going to perish, and their husbands shall perish of famine, man. So you're going to have men dying from being malnourished. They starve to death. Men dying from wars, man. A lot of different things. It says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord, receive it, believe it not. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So the plagues draw nigh, they're close, and they're not slacking. They're not slowing down, they're coming, man. The Lord is sending them. Okay, and like we said earlier, the death toll was at, I believe, 17 people. Book of Job, chapter 4 and verse 7 says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, with a question mark, So whoever died being innocent, whoever died and not has ever did nothing, man, nothing wrong. Okay, because the wages of sin is death. So if you die, it's because of your sins. And that's the reason we suffer, is because of our sins, man. It says, or where were the righteous cut off? Right? So where were the righteous ever cut off? They were never cut off. But it also says, whoever perished being innocent. So no one has ever perished being innocent, man. At all. And that's the cold-hearted truth about it, man. Especially with dealing with the Lord. Your grandma can be 80, 90 years old. That lady was wicked, man. In this life and her past life. And the Lord, he taking her out, man. It's plain and simple. But that was really the point in this lesson, man. Hey, fear YAHAWASHI. Evils are growing upon this earth. More storms are coming. There's going to be less food in these stores. The panic is going to rise. A lot of people about to start acting a lot more crazier, man. It's all through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. So trust in the Lord, and seek the Lord, man. All right? Trust in YAHAWASHI. and trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and he will direct you at every step in all thy way, man. So call Elohim La YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI B'Hashem R'cha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do indeed teach and rule well. And peace and salutations to the helpful elect scattered abroad. Till next time, I do say shalom and the Bible ball soon.